Hello and welcome everyone to Shopping on eBay. This time we're going to be talking about Transformers G1 again. So this is going to be our second episode. So this is our new show. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We've got a lot of positive feedback. But on this show we're going to be talking about one I found hilarious G1 auction, which is super rare, and we're going to find out how actually rare that is. Some other rarities that are actually rare, and we wanted to point those out. Also, some little novelty Transformer G1 items. We're also going to look at some things that are being labeled as reissues, which are obviously knockoffs, and we're going to have a few laughs with that. Also, on this episode, we're going to build an Omega Supreme from scratch. So we have not done any type of searching or looking at what these prices are for parts for an Omega Supreme. We have no idea if we're going to be able to put one together 100% complete in collector's condition for the price of less than an Encore or the price less than a G1. So that's something that we're going to all experience together. If you do enjoy the series, you do like it, please leave us a like, share it with your Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want to do, Google Plus. Let people know that we're doing this show, because I think that not only is it going to be entertaining, but it's also going to help out people that aren't familiar with shopping on eBay. And like I said, this week we're covering G1 Transformers again, but next week we're going to be covering Diaclone. So we're going to keep on going through different stages, whether it be Transformers Animated, Beast Wars, and getting into some other stuff as well. But, James, why don't you go ahead and tell people where they can find you, man?
You can find me Twitter and YouTube, VictorySaber77.
And you can find me, G1 Hextron, on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. My Facebook page is the G1 Hextron. And we also have a couple of podcasts. James has the Aftercast podcast, which is Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find that on Victory Saber 77. And I also have the Cybercast podcast, which starts at Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on G1 Hextron. So go check those out if you like. James, why don't you go ahead and clear up some comments that we had on the last video? And I think we have some things we wanted to talk about on that.
Yeah. A lot of positive feedback. Really do appreciate, guys. We've gotten some really good comments about just how well the show's been going. Just going through a lot of the details that you could find on eBay. I mean, most of the comments are just saying, this typical stuff for a first issue or a first released video. But I do appreciate, what Primal Sabbath said. He hates it when eBayers are stingy with the pictures and such. And but we have one comment here that I kind of want to address. Is Dallas 6. He kind of says that we are kind of underpricing what we find on eBay, and which is considering legit items, not knockoffs and stuff like that. And he's had, I guess, a different approach. And I kind of wanted to address that really quickly. It's like, for us, we've been doing it probably the same as long as you have, and we've seen great deals. It's just timing and knowing what you're looking for, and that's kind of what we want this show to be all about, is just helping you find and narrow that search and to check out the details and to make that conscious effort whether or not you want to build something from scratch, or is it just, I'm just going to fork out the money in the long run, buy it complete, and so I don't have to look for these little small accessory pieces and weapons. And that's, what we want this show to be all about. So, but that takes care of most of the comments. So.
Yeah, and it's also collecting habits as well. I know that me as a collector, and I know James the same way, we want to have all the G1s. Now, we're G1 collectors, among other things. But G1 is something that we absolutely love. It's something we grew up with. So we know that eventually, at some time down the line, we're going to have them all. So there's no rush to get one particular character at a certain time, because you might not find him at a cheaper price or the price you're willing to pay, but just because you want him, you go ahead and buy him for that price anyway. The way I always look at it is, if a figure, let's say a figure's going for $50, that's what he is, pretty much that's what he was going for 6 months ago, that's for a year ago, that's what he's going for today. So why would I pay $50 for a figure that's always going for $50, whether I want him or not? I'm going to wait until I see him for $25, $30. I'm going to wait for someone to make that regret purchase or something that they're like, I really need to get this off my hands because I need some money now. And that's when I make my, my purchase. And that's the way I've done my entire collection. There's maybe 1% of the things in my collection I've paid what it normally goes for. Everything else, I've got it cheaper than what it usually goes for. And you can always make offers. And this is something we were kind of talking about prior. Like the Insecticons. That's something that I brought up on last episode with the weapons. I got all 3 of their weapons for $6. Now, the thing about that is I bought it from the same seller. So I found a seller that happened to have all 3 of them. Then instead of, I think he was asking $8, I offered $6. The worst thing he can say is no. Now, I can go ahead and continue to buy them for that price, and it's a small weapon, so I mean it's not like shipping is outrageous. It's not like it's $3 or something like that. You can put a little bit of bubble wrap on it and put it in an envelope, and you're good to go. But I was able to offer that. They accepted, and we were good. The other thing that Jaim mentioned is sometimes they'll be okay with that, but they don't want to sell on an eBay, so they kind of want a look. If you PayPal me as a gift, then I'll send them out. Just because that way, they consider those eBay charges that they're going to get. That way they don't get charged for those. So that actually, helps out in the money situation as well. So there's little things, but it all involves of just asking questions, making an offer.
Yeah, and it's your collecting habits and knowing what's going on in the market. I mean, for instance, we've talked about it on the Cybercast quite a few times. Masterpiece Star Saber's coming out next year. That's going to probably drive down the prices of the G1 Star Saber. So if you're looking at picking up a G1 Star Saber, I would start, kind of keeping some in mind, and you might start to see those prices go down. It just depends on what's happening out there, if different companies are making certain products, like third parties, and you can start to find stuff. And, you just have to be in the right place at the right time. And the other thing is it's to be patient, no impulse buying. Be patient, know what you're doing, and just kind of like, if you want it, go for it, buy it. No regrets. But if you are kind of stewing about it, just be patient. It's always out there, unless you're looking at something that's very, very rare, and then, I mean, obviously you're just going to buy it because you already know it's super rare, so price isn't going to matter anyway. So just to be patient.
All right. I guess the second thing that we'll get into, and I guess we'll go ahead and start doing the screen share. Okay, I think I got all this done right. The first thing that I wanted to do is there's some items, some Transformer G1. So let's say Sandstorm. All right, so I'm going to price these lowest to first. And what I basically want to cover with this, in this little beginning section, is what are some of the most commonly lost things, or some of the commonly not lost, but overly priced things, or what's really going to get you. Like you don't want to be caught off guard to where you're like, man, I'm getting a really good deal, but find out that I just need that one little piece. And it's probably no more than a couple of bucks because it's so small and it's so irrelevant. But then you go to find out and shop for it, and you're like, man, that costs as much as the figure. So just going to go through here. I'm going to show you. I mean, it's all on all these first ones right here. You look up here where the little propeller is above his head. Over to the left of that, there's a little orange, I don't know what to call that, wing or fin or something like that. It's articulated. It moves, back and forth on that little black joint right there, or that rod. But that is so commonly missed on this Sandstorm figure. You can see it again here. It should be there on, the right side of the Doom buggy, on the opposite side of the propeller or whatever. So that's just the first one. After we get past these Creos that are obviously not G1, thanks a lot, people. All right, go to the next one. It's missing its 2 Well, let's see. Let's go to this one. It's actually on there. So it's not until you get a little bit further down. I mean, what's this dude? This dude's selling his. It's broken and it's missing the little fin back there. So, that's just one of the things that, with Sandstorm, they can really change the price and the way that you buy something.
Yeah, and he's missing his gun there, which is even more.
Yeah, that's expensive as well. We'll go with Blur, something that is commonly broken on this guy. Well, he's just missing the front end or shield completely. And well, can we find one with a shield, please? Well, that's not going to show up very well. Let's see if this one shows it here. No, you only took one picture. That's another thing we got into last time is the transformer. You need to at least show it in 2 different modes. Here we go. So this is what I want to show you guys. The little clip there that will connect into the front end, a lot of times you'll see one of the either left side or right side where it's broken off. If it's broken off, you're going to have a lot of trouble trying to fit that on there. And if you can't, then it's going to look like a lot of those other ones that we saw prior. Let's look at one. It's not going to look like Blur at all.
Yeah.
If we can get down to it.
Like that.
Yeah, it's gonna look like this. It's not gonna have a front end. I mean, this guy's missing the little bottom arm pieces too, but the front end is going to be missing that. You're not going to be able to plug that in. So that's part of the transformation. You have to have that to make it actually transform. Kind of the same thing with like a headmaster. You might be thinking, oh, I'm just missing this one piece. Well, that's the head. If you don't have that, then he's going to look stupid in robot mode.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I had one more. Oh, Blaster. Now, one of the things, did I put Blaster? Why is all these other weapons popping?
You got everyone's blaster gun.
Oh my goodness! So we'll skip that one. But with Blaster, one of the things, if you do own them or you've been looking at them, you can look that it's very common that one of his buttons, I believe it's on his left side most of the time, that's like pushed down, or it looks like it's a little bit lower than the rest of them. And chances are his chest is stuck. So you're not going to be able to open it up or use that feature. Now, you can take it apart and probably fix something like that, but that's something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other things that you always want to get pictures taken of, electronics. If it has any type of electronics, demand a picture. Do not bid or buy it if it doesn't, take a picture of the electronics. Because even if you're willing to pay the price and they finally show you the electronics and there's corrosion, you can probably even make them a lower offer and get it for even cheaper.
Yeah. And to see if it's been tested also. It doesn't take too much just to test an item. You put batteries in it, you flip on the switch, done. Take the batteries out, and then at least you can put in your description, it's been tested, it worked,
Yes, and some of the expensive little accessories to get are some of the more expensive ones. I don't know if you have any, Jaim, but Tripticon, he has fast tracks, and his little gun, which...
full tilt?
Or yeah, full tilt. Fast tracks is Scorponok. I'm sorry. Yeah, full tilt. His little bitty gun, man, that thing's like $50-$60 most of the time. Every time that's the thing I'm missing, and every time I look, and I'm like, man, I don't want to pay that for that little bitty gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing my Tripticon's missing, and there's also Shockwave's battery cover. You'll see a lot of times where you're like, well, I can save like $5-$10, get this one, and I'll pick up that battery cover for like $5-$10 or whatever. That little piece of plastic is usually like $30 if you can find it.
Yeah. I would never go that route. I mean, unless you have like a swap meet around you that deals with like, you see periodically, bins of Transformers you can go through. I would never do that. And you also, with the Triptychon, with Full Tilt's gun, you have to be careful that there are knockoffs out there. So you have to look at the coloring, the shade of gray, just to be aware of that, because you don't want to be paying no $50, $60, $70 for a little gun that happens to be a knockoff. So
Oh yeah.
keep that in mind too.
One last tip, and then we'll kind of dive into the meat of this. But over here, you can see the mouse on the right side of search. If you ever want to kind of find out, what something's going for, what has it gone for lately, just go over here to Advanced, and just type in G1, whatever you're looking for. Do down here, go ahead and select Toys. Sold listings under search included. Click on auctions, buy it now, and then we'll just hit search here, and it's going to bring up the last one sold. Oh, that Braun right there. He went for 1 cent and free shipping.
Yeah, but it's a reissue.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'd pay a penny for it.
Yeah, and free shipping.
Yeah,
that's a great deal.
So I mean, I've got it priced from least to greatest, but you put in there like Red Alert, like we did last week, commemorative series Red Alert, and find out what those things have been going for lately versus just you seeing them online and thinking that that's what they're worth. All right, so the first thing that we're going to take a look at here is a really funny auction that I saw. So I was looking for things that were rare, and I came across this 1985 Takara Transformers Jet Decepticon G1 variation, very rare, only one on eBay. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you why there's only one on eBay. As deceiving as a lot of these people are, that we will find out here in a bit, I really don't want to talk bad about this person. Maybe they don't know better. But the only reason there's only one on eBay is because no one's really foolish enough to try to pass this off as some like super rare variation. All this is G1 Skywarp's body with G1 thrust wings attached to it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. When I saw this, and it's broken at that. I mean, and it's missing all its hands and weapons and everything else.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't say this was the first generation of Wingblade or something. A character that was created by.
So, of course, I had to go down here and read this because I was like, I have to know where their head's at. This auction is for a 1985 Takara Transformers Jet Decepticon variation. Very rare, only one on eBay. Check out our other figures and items. I did, and no thank you. Item is as pictured. Item is missing some parts. We take great pride in our fast shipping and customer service. Blah, 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 blah. So I just had to point that out. I mean, you can never just take the title for its word. Like we looked at last week, a lot of times say reissue, and then you look down here and they'll say it's a KO or not an official Hasbro product, or they'll just go ahead and say that it's a reissue, that it's a totally legit authentic, and it's obviously not.
Wow, that's hilarious.
So that kind of segues us into these things being called reissues. And there's nothing here that says that this is a KO. I've read through it. Actually, I was looking for several things that I could kind of point out that say that they're reissues, and they don't say KO whatsoever, so they're obviously lying, because this has never been reissued, and it won't be reissued, especially for $80. I was like, you know what, let me check out and see what else this person has to sell. The entire, like every single item on their page. So we're just going to use their page as the full example, because not once do they indicate that this is a knockoff. I mean, can you imagine you get just one really pristine mint Shockwave for $80? I mean, the reissue here is the part that throws it off. I'm sure if we looked a little bit better, at the packaging and everything, that we could find some flaws in the packaging, whether it's brightness or whatever. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of these items for sale here. You have the reflector. Last week we looked at the one that's someone said that it was the mail away style box reflector. Well, this is the other version that we were referring to. This is a knockoff. It never came this way.
Yeah.
It was a mail away only. Also, the fact that it's $60. There's some telltale things in here. The Sharkticon, $70, obviously. Grimlock, and again, like I said, nowhere down here do they say that this is a KO or anything like that, or not an official product. What does that say? Dino at the bottom, Dinobot Bombarder?
Yeah. Instead of Dinobot Commander. Nice.
Yeah, so there's a little tell there. The Sunstreaker, never reissued that. They not done these Dinobots like this. Computron, not been reissued. Swoop. Now there's a couple of different variations of Swoop. I can't see on this one, but there's two knockoff versions, I believe. There's the one that has the blue chest, which is an obvious telltale, because that would be the Diaclone. And then, well, this one also says Dinobot Bombarder. Maybe that's correct with him, though. But they also have the packaging flipped as well. So I forget, does the original have the swoop going upwards instead of downwards?
Oh, dude, I don't even remember. It might.
I've seen it both ways.
Yeah.
But we know that this is a knockoff.
Yeah.
You're not getting this guy for $60. Let's see. Obviously, Weird Wolf here. Abominus. He's just got a ton of them here. Another Reflector. The Insecticons. The Insecticons, they did not come reissued in this packaging. And while you're at it, you're buying yourself some knockoff Transformers. You can go ahead and pick up the lady a swimsuit.
Interesting.
We are coming up on winter, and this is the time where everybody starts buying their swimsuits. We know everyone's about to hit the pool, the lake. Octane, there's Springer. They're all knockoffs. Some weird goggles for kids. Now this had me rolling.
Whoa.
So you're saying that all these reissues are authentic, that are not knockoffs. But then you're going to go and price this thing that you can go pick up in store right now for $140. And there was another one. I think it's on this page, and then we'll be done with this one. We'll move on. Where's it at? Yeah. Galvatron. That's in stores right now for like $25. Wow. It's going for $80. The same price as your G1 reissues. So the thing is this guy obviously knows those are knockoffs. He knows. He's got a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
He knows they're knockoffs, but he doesn't indicate anywhere on there. So one of the things that I suggest is get familiar with what has been reissued, whether it's commemorative series, whether it's an encore, whether it is the e-hobby stuff, anything out there. Make sure that you're familiar with it, to just kind of help you guys out.
Yeah.
Anything before we dive into the rare stuff, because we got some kind of strange stuff here too.
No, just it's all about just educating yourself and just knowing if you find something that's like the Shockwave, $80, made in box, never been touched on anything like that. That's something's fishy. Hopefully there's bells and whistles going off. But
and you're looking at all the other Shockwave auctions that are opened and maybe a crack hose there, something a little bit loose, and they're all more than 80. I mean, just red flags got to go off.
Yeah, and you got to remember that this is a 30-year-old toy, and Shockwave's not a, unpopular character. He's a popular character and such that he's going to kind of get a little bit more of a price hike than that. So just keep that in mind.
All right, so getting into the rarities here. This one right here is the big powered gift set. Guys got it here for starting bidding 1,600.
Yeah.
This is a little uncommon, or a little rare.
Yeah, to get all three together, yeah. I mean, but 16 is a little high, but I mean, it depends on what the condition of these guys are in.
I mean, it looks like their stickers are in good condition as well. Let's see that they're applied. Styrofoam box looking pretty decent shape. So, just something to kind of show off. We're actually looking at things that are rare. Now, I had to shift through about 600 things, so I just typed in Transformers G1 rare. I was able to pull up maybe like 8 things, and 3 of them are the exact same thing. Because I had to get past all the Generations things that are apparently rare. Like there's a Generations Voyager Whirl that is rare. So this is the Goodbye Megatron with Starscream set here. Now there's another pack that we saw on Toy Hunter. I believe it was like a year ago or something like that. Like Jordan, he had like his little 18-year-old Transformer expert, and he told him that a VSX set was worth like $15,000 or something like that. So I ended up buying it for like $8,000, and the guy was like, "Dude, you're gonna sell this so quick and like for $15,000." He didn't even sell it at that show. He probably still has it if he's trying to get that money. Even if he's trying to get $8,000 back for it, he's not gonna get it. But this is not the same thing as the VSX, but it's something a little bit more rare than just finding your regular G1 Megatron and Starscream.
Yeah, the Goodbye series was really nice. That and the Goodbye Optimus Prime and such were really cool.
And the box is in pretty good shape too. You see a little bit of flap. Here's a kind of a. Now it's not going to be on all those because some people keep things in just incredible shape. But in most cases, with the G1s where you have the flap, you see that kind of crease right there. While it might not be a lot, there's usually going to be just a little bit. Even if it was just setting on the shelf, for a day, and us kids going through them, because we don't care about like mint and box stuff when we were 3 and 4, 5 years old. So things got a little bit bent there. That's something to kind of look for as well.
Yeah.
Then we're going to get to this. You don't see this come up very often, and most of the time it's like missing pieces, or it's been used, or there's something. Tycho train set, and it's unused, and the box is in decent shape. The reason I say decent, you look at the corners here. Looks like maybe a little bit of tape at that end, but then we look at this, and there's obviously some water damage there at the bottom. Also look at the dates. Whenever they have these dates, always pay attention to them. Like, because sometimes I see this, and like let's say it's September 25th, 2014, and then you look at the date on their picture if they happen to like that, and it says like, oh, this is taken in like 2010. I'm like, well, a lot can happen in 4 years, so. I need some recent stuff. But you can see that all the stuff is there. It's in good condition, and they still have a little wire there in the baggie. I'm not exactly sure how much something like this would go for. Now they've got $320 shipped. That's something I just don't, because I really have never really paid that much attention about them. But it is something that it's hard to find them, even in that condition.
Yeah.
or with the box period. It's hard to find them. Now we're going to get into something a little bit crazy. A novelty item. So they did these G1, and I believe they were kind of in between like a G1 and G2, because there's some G1 stuff and there's some G2 stuff. But they have these candles. And all these candles that I saw, and I added them all, they're all sold by the same person. So this person has it for $700 and $30 ship, so $730. You really can't judge on how much something's actually worth or the rarity of it. I mean, it's rare, but it's not like it's demanding that amount of money, because there's 4 of them online. They're all sold by the same person, and they're all there. I mean, if they were just like totally rare, if it was Black Shadow, mint in box, for $600 or $700, it'd be gone. So I don't know how much these demand, but there's actually a little red alert guy and his poly bag of weapons on this guy. Let's see. Go down. Just a couple more. Just want to show a couple more. So there's one here with Streetwise and poly bag of his little thing. So you see that El Greco. Jaim, would you ever pay $700 for a candle?
I would have to say no.
I mean,
even if they had something better in there than Slingshot, maybe, but it'd have to be like Diatlas or something, bigger or something.
Or like this super rare G1 variant or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could come up with something a little bit better with just putting stuff together with my collection, making hodgepodge thing.
And you see that, in this one they came with a G2 figure, so something a little bit different there. Oh, and you look at the back too. You can see, Thunderclash there.
Yeah, Skyquake. Cool.
Yeah. So something, a little bit different. There's the G2 version, but this one's $530 after shipping, so I guess the G1s are a little more uncommon. Sticking with the kind of G1, G2-ish, like it's kind of in between that. The Turbo Masters Rotostorm. Now this is a mint and seal box. He's asking, or she, whoever it is, they're asking $185. Now this is a European exclusive, and kind of like we mentioned on the last episode, that people in Europe, I have no idea. These things could be a dime a dozen. Probably not mint and seal box like this one. But here in America, it's pretty rare.
Yeah. Yeah, we only got that. That mold was introduced in the Machine Wars as Sandstorm. That was the only way we got that, but it didn't have the whole firing gimmicks and all that type of stuff. To find one mint in box, I think it's a little pricey.
Yeah.
But it's still one of those rare items because it is mint seal box. But I don't know, 175 is a little, wow.
It's one of those things where I bet you can make this guy an offer. You can look on there and you can find out how long that he's had it up there, how many times it's kept on flipping over, and if he hasn't had any bites, then you can probably offer something.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get down to this guy here. Now you want to tell people a little bit about this. Do you know more about it than I do?
Sure. We're looking at Galaxy Shuttle here, which this version is from the Zone series. There was the one that was released prior to this, which was in Victory. Same figure, same everything, except for the box is different. So this box is going to showcase the Micromasters and the Zone characters, whereas the Victory one would showcase the Victory line. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking at this guy. But again, there's no difference between the actual toy itself. That you come with the same stickers, the same accessory pieces, and all that. So
if you bought it loose, then you're good either way. But there's a couple things. Like the main thing that, like when you were telling me, then I saw these Micromasters here on the back, and I was like, okay, that's obviously Zone. Also the Z up there instead of the V. at the top. Now, this guy does not, on this particular product, while would you classify this as a rare? I classify it as a rare because
Yes.
I don't see them very often. But the problem with it, I would pass. You already said you would pass. He does not come with his gun.
Hmm.
And the problem with some of these rare things is, while you'd like to have the figure, and he looks like he's in pretty good shape, and I mean, regardless whether you get the box or not, it's going to cost so much. One, it's going to be impossible to find that gun by itself. And then it would cost so much money. The only time you're going to see that gun again, I mean, just looking for years and years and years for the gun by itself, looking on eBay every single day and every single listing, you're probably only going to see that gun again with another Galaxy shuttle.
Yeah.
And you have to buy it again and then try to sell this guy.
Yep. And yeah, I wouldn't go that route. I would actually classify this as ultra rare because of the fact that he's pristine white. I mean, that's really white.
Yeah.
And to find that gun, yeah, it's going to be really hard. I mean, the gun also has a factory sticker on it, so it's not like you can go to repro labels and make it all nice and pretty again. So you have to keep that in mind. And since you have this, in really great condition, you don't want to buy a really crappy, accessory piece and such. But, I guess if you really wanted to, you could maybe go and get a Thunder Dag one and use that gun. If
Well,
you
I
really
mean,
wanted to have it in shuttle mode.
if you know enough about the series and you get into these Japanese vintage figures and you're willing to pay $800, I don't think you're a type of collector to just be like, well, I don't care whether it has its accessories or not.
Yeah.
Because there are those collectors out there that are like, oh, I'll buy, Sideswipe. He was my favorite character. And they're like, well, it doesn't come with accessories, but hey, I always wanted them or I loved them as a child, so I'll pick them up for like $15 or something like that without accessories.
Yeah.
This is not something you would do that with.
No. I mean, if I happen to have, let's say if I did buy this, and I bought another Galaxy shuttle with the actual, gun piece, then I would probably display this in robot mode or the other one in robot mode, and I would have the other one actually in shuttle mode, and I'd actually have it connected to the countdown base, because predominantly that's all he did in Victory, was housed there. But again, I mean, if you're able to spend $800 on something that's not complete, then the gun and money is not really that big of an option or of an importance to you. But I do like the fact that the seller there stated that Skylinks in the title. I don't know why that would, make it even better. Galaxy Shuttle, Rare, 1989, Takara, Skylinks with box. Just because they're both a shuttle, I mean, why not put Astro Train? Why not put, something different? I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Most expensive Skylinks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Getting into some other things that are rare, obviously going to be Japanese. Most of the time, whenever I think rare, I'm thinking Japanese, and I'm thinking even hard to find Japanese, like stuff that a lot of people maybe even don't even know of or know exists. So, like here, you have some of the headmasters, and I believe there 6 or 8. I think there was 6, but different headmasters that people aren't familiar with that didn't come with, their bodies.
Yeah.
And this is probably the most popular one. This is Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not only is he mint seal box, but they came in these like little baggies as well. This guy still has his, because they came, in their individual box, but they also had their individual baggies as well. This one's still in that individual baggie. So that makes this even more rare. Like, I don't know how AFA grading would go. I mean, this would get pretty high. I don't know if they're like, well, it has a baggie, so, you need to take that off. No, that's part of what makes it even more rare.
Yeah.
Guy's asking $438 with shipping.
Those are rare, and the Godmasters that people don't know that too came that way too. So
here you have another one, Rodney. See, this one doesn't have the little poly bag on it.
Yeah.
but you can get a little bit better look at them. Yeah, there is. There's the 6 there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a knockoff company that came out with a 6-pack, and it looks like it's all Transformers packaging, I believe. So it looks like it may be legit, because it has some of that like cool, looks like it's posability for G1s, you know. But it's obviously the toys never were like that. But that's what it looks like, and it's a 6-pack, and I know that they've made a knockoff of that. So I heard those are really good quality. I wouldn't buy these guys without the packaging.
Yeah.
Just because you know that there's gonna, we saw how shady some of the people are, deceiving, regardless if they know what they're doing or not. More than likely they do. But you know that there's some people that are like, well, I've got the real one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this knockoff, I'm going to put it in this packaging, and then I'm going to try to sell it. So, like this mint and seal box, the one on Kirk, where we actually saw that it was still in the poly bag, that's important with these.
Yeah.
And also wanted to show this off, another little novelty item. Now, back in the early 80s, there were several of these little outfit things. So here you have Autobot dress up here. You got the little mask and gun, a couple of bracelets and a belt. It's silly, really, but they're asking $150. So in the box, it's an all right shape. It's not perfect, but it's $150. Here's one that's $320. The box is in much better shape. So you just kind of want to get a feel for what things are really going for. Here's another one, $125 or whatever with some shipping. Here's another one, or another thing that they came out with for like dress up. The 1985 G1 Optimus Prime head. This actually had working electronics. Guys asking, or starting bid, no one's bid yet, $3,500.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I've seen these online before, and they didn't go anywhere near that.
Yeah, no
I
way.
think I saw one online one time for I think it was like $700 or something like that, and it didn't even sell, or at least at that time, and it had been up for a while. This guy has the box for it, but I have no idea where they came up with that pricing. And I think though, I mean, here's a loose Kirk right here, $200 or $160. Buy it now. Says Takara 87 on there. I'm not sure what the knockoffs say, or if they say that at all. But there's just a little bit better look at him.
Yeah.
The only way I'd buy is the mint and seal box one. It's got to be sealed and everything. You got to protect yourself on that stuff.
Yeah. Because like what you said, the knockoff quality is really good. I know a lot of people that actually have that set that came with those characters, and yeah, you have to be kind of careful.
All right, so let's do this Omega Supreme thing.
All right.
I've got to look and remember how many freaking pieces this thing comes with. All right, so we know, first off, whenever you're wanting to not just only this, but buy anything that you're trying to piece together, you need to know what are the expensive parts and what's going to cost you the main money. Because look at this. I mean, you could buy this clip. Now it's going to come with 4 of these different clips, and you also have to make sure that you get the correct ones.
Yeah.
So you really need a layout of an Omega Supreme and know all it comes with and know the shapes and everything, because then you have 4 clips like this, and then you have the other 4 panels that go over the legs and the 2 feet, and so all that. The most expensive parts with this guy are going to be the tank with his electronics, because the electronics don't work half the time. Some of the times the treads get off. Now, I will tell you that mine did, and I got mine for cheap because of that. I spent probably about 15 minutes on it, and I ended up fixing the problem. No big deal. Also, the little turret is usually broken off. The little red turret is usually snapped off because it's a thin piece of plastic. It's like like a toothpick. The other thing is there's 4 clips, 2 longer clips and 2 smaller clips. The 2 smaller clips are going to be the more expensive ones. But as we kind of piece this together, uh, so you have 4 of these things. Let's say let's put them at $4.
Yeah.
Now we know we need the other 4 pieces and these outer pieces, which is this right here. This looks like it's going for about $4. And you see, we're getting all the stuff, free shipping as well. Here's the 2 feet. So we've got so here's the in pieces, so out pieces, and the feet.
So about $4 for the feet, even though that's an open bid. Not a buy.
Is an open bid?
Yeah.
I'd rather. So there's $4.15 for 1 foot. So it looks like a lot of these there's another outer piece.
We're going at $4 for everything. We're at like $28.
Yeah, so that's basically 4 and 4. For those, the feet. Let's see if we can find another foot here. Here's another foot. So there's 9. The other one 4. So we'll say the feet was $9.
Okay.
Well, even though we might be able to bid on that one and get it for cheaper. The backpack section right here, that's an open bid. It's at 5. Also, another thing that you want to be aware of on the tracks, you have, what is it, 6 pieces, and they're different as well. So you need to know what you're looking for. What does this have? Best offer accepted. So you can get it for less than 6 here for those. So we'd offer them 5 or something like that. We're not going to lowball. We want them to accept it. Okay, so for those 4 pieces of track, it looks like we can get them for about $5. We still need the other 2 pieces of the 2 middle pieces of track.
Yeah.
There's one right there. For let's just say $5.50. Oh, check that out. For those inner armor things that we were seeing $4 a piece for. This is what I like on here is if you keep on scrolling down, even though the price might be getting a little bit more expensive, you might be able to find where they've grouped a lot together. So now instead of spending $16 on those 4 pieces at $4 a piece, now we're getting them for $6.
All right, so you want me to take off 12 and put on 6?
Well, yeah, I'm writing it down too. Here's another inner piece. So that's kind of yellow looking though.
Yeah, I go with something better.
There's our cannon. Let's say $6.50. And there's that base piece. Oh, it says it's sold. Wait a second. Oh yeah, these are all sold items. Oh, I forgot we were looking under the sold stuff.
So then
we
could actually know how much these prices would be.
Yeah, these things are going for. I forgot I had it under the other tab, but no, this is perfect. So we can actually see how much this stuff is going for.
Yeah.
So here's a big clip for what is it, $6.50?
Oh yeah.
Some more. There's another one. $6.50 is where that ended. So that's going to be 13 total for big clip. That's the front big clip, and then here's the back one.
Yeah. We got 1 back. We need 3 more of the clips for the back.
Yeah, and then here's that other piece of the the middle track. I forget how much the other one went for, but that one's $7. The other one was probably like $6 or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can find like a huge like a junker lot of an Omega Supreme where he's missing like broken or because he's a parts former, you find something that's broken or maybe missing a couple of pieces, and you can just buy that and then just buy the 2 or 3 pieces that you need. Omega Supreme's an easy one to do that with.
Yeah.
This says it's a parts lot. The electronics work on him when I put the batteries. One of the motors that moves the tread is broken. Okay, so I mean he says electronics work, but that's okay. We don't want a broken one. We already have the big or the back clips. There's another back clip for $9.25.
So we need 2 small clips then.
2 small clips
For the
and
back.
2 small clips and the tank.
And we got the backpack.
I think we did. It was $4 one I saw earlier.
Hmm.
Here's 110. I mean, 410. Okay, here's a small clip. 13.50. So now all we need is 1 small clip and the tank. Small clips are just here. Oh, here's a tank or repair. He doesn't even say, so he doesn't say whether it works or not. Let's see. Small clip, yeah. So $13.99, $14. So now all we need is the big boy. Come on, tank. Where you at, bro? I mean, you can even probably we could probably find like some of these like combos here for the big clips. No, they're more expensive than what we found. I'll check that out.
Nice.
I mean, you're getting the 2 big outer sections and all the tracks there. So let's see, that was 15, 16, 17. And that would be, so 18 is what we did on that. 18, 20. Okay, so we'll pick that up, 17, and that takes off 14, takes off 20, and it takes off 16. So we saved $34 by going this way with this one. All right. Head spins, it lights up, doesn't walk. Mine doesn't walk either. It just kind of like does this Michael Jackson thing where it just slides its feet back and forth. See, this is crap the way this is listed. You're bidding on this item as pictured. I mean, does it work? Electronics work, the motor whirls but does not roll. Well, he's missing a head. Only one leg moves. Where are we at so far? Okay, here's what I have. I have $6, $17, $9, 6.50. Uh, okay, well, $17 for the out sections, the track. Then I have $9 for both feet, and then 6.50 for the cannon.
Okay.
13 for the big clips.
All right.
And where else did you have on that? Like, where are we at now?
I had a total of around, well, since you changed it up a little bit, I had a total of 80 some odd dollars. Um, and then I'm going through trying to find one that's just complete.
Okay, so you're looking for that, and then that way we can end this. There we go. All in working order, $23 right there.
There you go.
So I had 23, 17, 6, 9, we'll make that 6, 13. All right, so I had 23, 17, 6, 9, 6, 13, 17, and 23. I'm not sure how much that ends up. How much was I'll add it up. Did you find one that, I'll get off screen share here. Did you find one that was 100% complete for like an original that like worked and everything?
Yeah, I'm looking for one now. Most of the ones say that they don't work or state he has not been tested, so I can't verify if he works or not. It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
because like with ours, we wanted to make sure everything was in like collector condition, everything worked.
And most of those sold for around $140
Okay.
that were complete, but we're not sure if they worked or not. I'm still looking at some other ones. Yeah, most of them
What'd you
say
get for the one that we put together? I came up with roughly around like 110.
yeah, it's roughly. I didn't get the last quote that you had, but yeah, that sounds right. So
So,
it seems cheaper to build one as long as you know what you're looking for.
and I mean that's 100% complete, and like we passed on some stuff that it was yellow or it didn't look like it was in that good of condition. Um, there were also some, it's the case. So basically, what we wanted to show you is, like, we looked at those outer sections of the feet, and then we looked at the track. We started piecing those things together, and while you could find them individually at pretty decent prices. So that's a great thing about Omega Supreme is if one piece breaks, then you can usually pick that just one little piece up for like $4, unless it's one of the clips or it's one of the or the the train itself, or not train, or whatever it's called, the tank.
I can't find one that's complete that works. That's original.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go off the comments real quick. Transfer guy 223. Hey guys, it's 12:14 a.m. in Australia, so don't think I'll be able to watch it live. I'll try next time. Um, Charles, glad to see the show is back. Always found the topic interesting, although with this one, I'm going to try and not stare at the Mastermind Creations Party King behind Josh. The one main Transformer figure that I'm looking at eBay, or on eBay, is G1 Six Shot. I've found complete and broken versions. Other than the original is the Asia exclusive, and the original the only ones out there. Well, you have the original Hasbro, and you've got the Japanese as well.
Hmm.
Then you have the Asia exclusive. Those are the only three that
Well,
I
it
can
came
think
out.
of.
It was reissued too by Takara
Well,
before the Asian exclusive.
yeah, the Japanese reissue. So it's those three, or if you count the original Japanese too, so I guess four. But I'm pretty sure he's not talking about the original Japanese.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've maybe found one that's complete with box. It says it's in mint condition, 122.50, but it doesn't state that it works. But he does state that it's mint condition, so you just have to assume that it works. I mean, so far I've gone through at least 2 pages worth of stuff here that nothing works. It's complete, but they all state we can't get the tracks to work and all that. I did find an Encore version that went for $150, and that's brand new, never been touched. So you could go that route, I guess.
Yeah, but the key thing to kind of pull away from with Omega Supreme is even if you're missing like one little thing or something breaks on yours, it's not like it's a whatever Optimus Prime and his arm breaks off or something like that. I mean, you could probably learn to fix that. But Omega Supreme, it's so simple and the piece is so cheap that it's just buy that little piece and you're good to go. So
yeah,
we'll go ahead and end it there. We've been going at an hour. That last part might have bored some people. I don't know, because we were just searching like we would if we were buying, for ourselves, and that's what we wanted to do is kind of do a live little search and look for that. But if you guys, like I said, this is an episode 2. We've got an idea of what we want to do. We liked doing some of the stuff that we did at the beginning. If you've seen episode 1 and you've seen episode 2, how do you like the way we did it? Where it's just blind searching from the very beginning, or we had some stuff go ahead and add it to the watch list and we kind of went over those and kind of talked about them. Let us know what you think. Let us know where you'd like to see the show kind of go forward and what direction. Again, 2 weeks from now, not next Thursday, but the following at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have episode 3. And we're going to be covering Diaclone. So, Jaim, if you have anything else to say, go ahead, or just tell people where they can find you, man.
I would just add, just like what Charles said, if you guys have a specific item you want us to look for, or piece together and see, firsthand how much it would go for, leave it in the comments, anything, we'll search it, we'll look for it, and all that kind of stuff. But again, I'm Jaim, Victory Saber 77. You can find me YouTube and Twitter.
And you can find me G1Hextron on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And my Facebook page is the G1Hextron. So thanks all for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. And we will see you on the Cybercast and Aftercast this Saturday. Later.